All right, guys, so let's talk about some screencasting. So right now, I'm using a tool called Screencastify, and I think I've covered this in a couple of different classes. I can't tell you which ones. They all kind of mesh together now. So I'm using Screencastify. I paid $24 for the pro version of Screencastify, which gave me the ability to save animated GIFs and longer videos. But the free version lets you make videos 15 minutes or less and has all the same features other than the animated GIF. And then also has like just like a watermark on it. So it's not, I like the tools, but it might not be what you want to use, but I'm going to start with that tool because it's what I like using. If you're somebody who thinks you're going to use this a ton, maybe you want to do what I did and pay the $24 a year for the upgraded version, or you're like, there's great free tools and there are, I'm going to cover 3 other different tools or 2 other different tools that you don't need that for. So you could just say, thanks, Jackie, but I'm going to try something else. So right now, I'm using Screencastify, and I'm also showing you my screen and everything that I'm doing on the screen, as well as embedding a webcam down here in the lower right-hand corner. So that's an option with this particular tool. I'm just going to hover up here. So this Screencastify, looks like a video reel. And when I click on it, you'll see what I'm currently doing. It'll open this up. So I'm doing a tab recording, and I selected tab recording. I tested my audio. I usually use my headphones with my speaker because they tend to really give nice, clear audio, and I enjoy that. And again, I'm just on my Chromebook. So I'm just in the Chrome browser. You could do this on your laptop or on your Chromebook, not on your Chromebook, somebody else's Chromebook. And your kids can use their Chromebooks for this. So your kids, picture me, I'm a student, and I'm explaining something that I'm doing in class right now to you. That's great. And I'm looking down here, but really I should be looking up here. It's throwing me off a little bit, and I can see here I can get a little preview window, and you can see it's grabbing my audio. I do get some options here when I'm still in Screencastify, and Screencastify syncs with your drive. So you have a Screencastify folder that's created in your drive when you sign into Screencastify, and as soon as you create a recording, as soon as that saves, it syncs into your Google Drive, which is great. And for some reason, I have like 3, so I always have to play like this game of like, which folder is it in when I need to edit it. But so if I just click back on here, that snaps back in. So I clicked it twice. I selected tab recording, preview window, embed webcam. That's what I did. So the nice thing about using tab recording is that you get tools. And I always forget to do this because usually I'm just showing you something on the screen and you can follow my mouse and I'm just like, look over here, and I just keep circling it. But for using this with kids, how awesome is this where your kids can do the same thing that we just talked about? So, and this is touchscreen enabled. So I can use my hand on the screen, and if I click on these, I can move up and down. And you see those move with it. But so I could be doing the same thing that we did with an annotated image, but I'm walking through it. Instead of having to write on the screen, I could just be like, I see water. I see kids. I see them carrying bags, and I can highlight these things. And I think, and then maybe I want to change the color, or I just want to talk about it. I think that there's a flood. I think they're moving somewhere with what they can carry. And then I wonder, I could do all of those things. So you get the idea. But so the tab recording is awesome. And you can do this on anything. You could be on a crash course video or video on YouTube that you've assigned to kids. They could have to pause the video and explain where that came from in the video, or document, close reading a document, or explaining what pieces that they pulled out of a reading or an assignment online. And and then explain that real time like this, either with themselves embedded down here or not, which is pretty awesome. So that is the tab recording feature. And I think I just fired off like 4 options, but those are great ways to really kind of transform how we are asking our kids to interact with learning and show their learning in the classroom that isn't just what did you get for them? This tab recording only works with inside this tab. So the second I leave this tab, if I click over here, it's still recording in this background tab, but you're not getting what I clicked on. All right, so it has to be, you have a file up and it can scroll, they can scroll, and they can work all the way through their file or the web page or wherever you're sending them that you want them to work through something. But that annotation tool, that feature doesn't travel with you in that. Now, when I typically do a Screencastify recording, and I'll put a screenshot of what it looks like in there in the video here, but I typically just do a desktop record. And that means that it's recording everything that's happening on my Chromebook once I open up that initial window and I say record this. I can minimize it and I can do my Chromebook background. I can do other apps. I can other things open. It's going to travel with me everywhere I go. And then I can choose to either embed myself or not. I went through like a phase last year where I embedded myself in every video, and then I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm always in the way. And I can move myself around. Like I can click on me and move me around. I don't know if you're seeing me getting moved, but now I'm in the upper left. But it was just, I was just like, I don't need to be in here. And then some days my hair doesn't look nice. And today I think we're doing all right. But so it's just easier for me if I just have the full canvas and I don't have to look at myself down here. But so that's Screencastify. And again, I'll show you what it looks like, the options through Screencastify, or you can, download it and play with it yourself. But the Screencastify option gives you this markup tool, and the possibilities are endless in terms of that. I know there's lots of tools that we're using like Edpuzzle and Flipgrids and other things where kids are interacting. You sign into Edpuzzle, they have to watch a video and questions pop up as they go through the video and you can get progress. That's another great way to have kids interact. A lot of people are using Flipgrid, and there's a class on that for transformative formative assessment, so I won't go into that too much. But kids respond to video or question prompts with 90-second videos. So that's another really cool tool to do that. But this is another way that is just less like, I didn't have to really plan anything for this. I said, okay, I want you guys to go to NPR and I want you to find an article and I want you to do a See, Think, Wonder. I'm still doing the See, Think, Wonder, but or here's your article and I want you to record yourself close reading that article or pulling out 3 important details that led us to where we are right now. So that is Screencastify.